from my perspective, it was all minerals all the time. And then in conversations and meetings, I kept hearing non-op pop up. And that's why I started to get involved in the space 3, 4 years ago. And what's interesting is I started looking around like, oh my God, this is the mineral space all over again, circa 2014, 15. So from and I've said this on the podcast before, but from an evolution of like the ecosystem of the space, we're way earlier than minerals. And so there's a lot of running room there, but there's some different macro factors driving it. And I think one of them is capital pulling out of the space, ESG pressures. So European and Canadian banks, Credit Agricole, Credit Suisse, a lot of the Canadian banks on the lending side, they're either out or they're very, very restrictive on how they can lend. So a big gaping hole of traditional debt capital is no longer there. So you've had some private debt funds and credit funds been raised to try to fill that void, but still, tens of billions and billions of dollars, right? Very difficult. And then you got the equity side, endowments, pensions, other institutions that have stakeholder bases that are very sensitive to ESG and global warming issues, and as a result, can't really touch hydrocarbons. They've exited the space. And so the non-op fund phenomena is very new and is filling that gap.